You say, your headline is, "The threats from Admiral Macron shame my country." Tell us more.
Well, yes, I'm a French woman, and I was trying to be as objective as possible in my analysis of this dispute. And it has to be said, there's an awful lot of ongoing disputes at the moment between Britain and France, ranging from immigration issues to submarine deals and migration. And the latest is the ongoing fishing dispute. And in the end, I could see that the real victims of serious blockades, as the French fishermen are now threatening to impose on Britain, would be the most vulnerable members of society. And this particularly applies if you are thinking of cutting off energy supplies and indeed a movement of food and essential supplies such as medicines. And of course, there is a genuine grievance among the French fishermen. The scallop season is just starting, and some of them do not have the fishing licenses. But the truth, though, is that there is a radical tradition of violent protests in France, going back to the 1789 revolution and before. And it has to be said, it is one that is supported by politicians. And it doesn't sound very democratic or indeed just. But I think my main point in all that is that I'd like to see this kind of disputes resolved through civilized discussion and indeed legal agreements that countries should stick to. And the Anglo-French relationship is extremely fraught over all kinds of issues at the moment. And of course, these issues existed before Brexit, but it seems that they have been exacerbated since the UK decision to leave the European Union.
Yeah, and you say in your article, actually, that you think that the EU Commission now should step in and pull France into line to stop this.
Yes, I think because some of the methods that the French fishermen are threatening to use are clearly guerrilla tactics, unlawful tactics. And if you think about the possibility of those blockades being imposed, or indeed those electricity cuts being inflicted on the people of Jersey or the Channel Islands in particular, or in more generally, then we are talking about the possibility of, no electricity in care homes or indeed hospitals, and people might be affected gravely to the point of dying, effectively.
Yeah, let's see your thoughts.
I think the question, though, in some ways, is whether someone like the EU coming in would actually resolve something like this just now. Because it seems to me that one of you said lots of disputes, and I think that's right. They do seem to be breaking out in many different places, and to some extent, it seems to me that it's nothing specifically to do with fishing or immigration or whatever the specific issue is, but much more a kind of fragmentation of the global systems of cooperation that's starting to apply just now. I mean, sometimes it's not always the case that these things play out very directly. I mean, we've already seen the dispute over the new United States, Great Britain.
AUKUS.
Yes, the AUKUS thing. So that's got to kind of focus outside of the immediate UK-France relationship. But this seems to be a further fragmentation that has a much more direct impact.
Yes, and I think underpinning all those angry face-offs is the fact that Emmanuel Macron, the President of France, has made no secret of his hatred of Brexit. He called it a crime from very early on. And, any opportunity to have a go, in my view, at British allies who traditionally, we cooperate quite well, both countries. But I think this issue has seen, the rhetoric ramping up on both sides.
Welcome to the GB News YouTube channel. You can watch us live 24 hours a day, catch up on your favourite shows, and join in the conversation in the comments below.
Don't forget to subscribe and you'll never miss any of our exclusive content.